Alright, first off, want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways, pushing His word now, sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is the brother Arawam from JMS Jamaica Camp, coming to another quick lesson. And it's an example from the what happened with the Apostle Peter, and just to implore brothers to, to pray for a lot of faith, pray for the faith to be patient and believe that regardless of the situation, Yahweh Shemashai will be able to actually get you out of it. The Lord can get you out of any bind. And let's just go ahead and observe this act. Hopefully this is edifying. So we'll start off with Romans 15 verse 4. It says, "For whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of the scriptures might have hope." So these accounts, of old are here to actually help and strengthen our faith, right? To help us, to be a record of the great wonders that Yahweh Hashem Yahushai did of old, right? And the same can apply to us, seeing that we're of the hopefully left if we endure to the end and we have faith, right? So this is Acts 12, Salakia. This also applies in this time more so than ever because, with the whole pandemic and the rules and regulations concerning, the pandemic, you have laws coming into play that will you'll be penalized if you don't follow certain guidelines. The time is coming where you may lose your job. You'll be barred from society a certain way. There are a lot of restrictions and penalties that are coming with not following the guidelines, and staying true to Yahweh Shemel Shai, right? So this definitely would be something to think about. I remember a few months back, some brothers was asking, what if they come to get you, what do you do, right? So this is Acts chapter 12, and I'll start at 1. It says, "Now about the time Herod the king stretched forth his hands to vex certain of the church, and he killed James the brother of John with the sword. And because he saw it pleased the Jews," which was basically the wicked Jews, "he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread," right? So in the days of unleavened bread, they actually took Peter, "and when they had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to four quaternions, if I'm pronouncing that, quaternions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter," meaning the Passover, "to bring him forth to the people." Right? So Peter was apprehended, he was put in prison, and it says that they delivered him to four quaternions. Right? So I'm going to look on the word apprehended. Also in Revelation it says that some of you will be cast into prison and be tried 10 days, meaning that what you will be held. 10 days is not really specific, but there's a period of time where some of us will actually be apprehended, right? So the Greek word there is
Strong's G 4084, piazzo.
And it says to lay hold of, to take, capture, to apprehend of a man in order to imprison him, right? So to seize, to arrest, capture, apprehend, right? Also said that they put him in prison. I'll play this as well.
Strong's G 5438, fulake.
Right, so it says I'll focus on definition B on down. It says person keeping watch, a guard or sentinel. Well, C, Salakia says a place where captives are kept, a prison. So we will be held captive, for not. That's one of the penalties of not, abiding to the the draconian laws that Esau will actually be putting in place. Right? It says of the time of night during which guard was kept, a watch a period of time during which the part of the guard was on duty, at the end which others relieved them. Right? It says, as the earlier Greeks divided the night commonly in three parts, so previous to the exile, the Israelites had also had 3 watches in the night. Subsequently, however, after they became subject to the Romans, they adopted the Roman custom of dividing the night into 4 watches. All right, and this 4 watches is very important, right? So it says they put him in prison, and they delivered him they've delivered him to 4 quaternions. So let's look on what the quaternions is. Quaternions of soldiers. So let's play it.
Strong's G 5069. Tetradion. Tetradion.
Alright. It says a guard consisting of 4 soldiers. So they actually gave him, they said they delivered unto him 4 quaternions. So he had actually 16 different soldiers guarding him. Right? It says the guarding consisting of 4 soldiers, for among the Romans this was the usual number of guard, to which the custody of captives and prisoners were entrusted. 2 soldiers were confined with the prisoner, and 2 kept guard outside. 4 quaternions of soldiers would be used to guard one all night, one for each of the 4 night watches. So at any given time throughout the night, there will be 4 soldiers with Peter, right? And let's see what the Lord did in that case in regards to deliverance, right? Verse 5 says, Peter therefore was kept in prison, but prayer was made without ceasing of the church of the Most High unto him of the Most High for him, Salakia. So prayer was made without ceasing of the church unto the Most High for him. And when Herod would have brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers, bound with 2 chains, and the keepers before the door kept the prison. So imagine you have 2 outside the cell, 2 within the cell, and he was between the 2 that was in the cell. And the Lord was definitely able to to deliver him from that. Right? Verse 7 says, and behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in the prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, arise up quickly. And his chains fell off from his hands. And the angel said unto him, gird thyself and bind thy sandals. And so he did. And he said unto him, cast thy garments about thee, and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. So not even Peter was understanding what was going on. He was just following the instructions of the angel. Verse 10 says, and when they were past the first and the second ward, they came unto the iron gate that led unto the city, which opened to them of his own accord, and they went out and passed on through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from him. All right? So imagine, 16 soldiers assigned to one man, at any given time throughout the 4 watches of the night. 2 would be in the cell with him, 2 would be outside the cell with him, and he was actually between the 2 that were in the cell with him, chains on his hand, right? It would seem to be an impossible situation to break out of with any form of commotion or anything. But guess what? The Lord literally got Peter out of there by sending an angel, right? So this goes to show that, even from a physical standpoint, or whether it be there's no situation, physical or spiritual, that the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushai cannot deliver us from. Right? And we just need to, we have to pray with faith and take record, of these things of old. Right? It says, and when Peter was come to himself, he said, now I know of a surety that Yahweh had sent his angel and had delivered me out of the hand of Herod and from all the expectation of the people of the Jews. All right, so the Lord actually delivered Peter from what would have been an impossible situation to break out of, right between 2 guards, right, in a cell, two in, two out, right around the night. And even with all that so-called security, the Lord got him out. All right, so the Lord can definitely get us out of those jumps. Right, let me just see something real quickly. Right, it says verse 18 says, now as soon as it was day, there was no small stir among the soldiers what was become of Peter. And when Herod sought for him and found him not, he examined the keepers and commanded that they should be put to death. And he went down from Judea to Caesarea, and there abode. So no one could explain how is it that he got out. So well, the logical thing, and that's the thing, they say with the Most High, there's nothing impossible with the Most High, right? The logical thing would think that, the guards were actually working with Peter, they actually let him out, and saying that they don't know what happened, because how would you explain, him getting out? And guess what? They were put to death. So that as I said, this breakdown is just to show that, hey, with Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, there is no bind that you can't get out of. All right, so we need to pray for faith. We pray to for that trust in Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Pray Yahweh Hashem Yahushua build up our spirits so that we will have that we'll have the right mindset to make it through the days ahead through his spirit, through their spirit, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. All right, so with that, hope this was edifying. Once more, to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Hashem Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom, the hopeful elect.